I love this song, is it? I mean, if you recite it, it's almost like a poem. Me want to know who is talking. Eh? It's like a movie. Watch me. Glory run. Them things there. Me they done. But first of all, let me thank all of you for coming out tonight. I am cognizant of the time. It's 1 p.m. But as I toured Northwest Manchester, I got a very good sense of the mood of the people. And it was very receptive, very engaging, very embracing. And I have a very good feel about Northwest Manchester. And as I came down the hills and I came into the Creggan division and I landed here, I have an even better sense of the mood of the people. I used a word on Sunday when I started my presentation to that historic, massive crowd in Halfway Tree, that the Jamaica Labour Party has momentum. There is a saying, the race is not for the swift, but for who can end to the end. This man, no trouble no one. This man, no envy no one. I don't set any sneers for anyone. I don't badmouth anyone. I just go about doing your business. That's my job. My job is to mind your business. And I have been very strategic in minding your business. I know that this day would come. And when you gave me the stewardship of your affairs, I know that 5 years after, you're going to come back to me and say, what have you done with the talents I gave you? What have I done with the authority I gave you? And that is a question that successive administrations have not been able to answer in a convincing way. But this administration is the first administration that has been able to present to the public a document of over 250 achievements. And that is just a short list of a much longer list of achievements. It makes interesting reading. And everyone who has read this book would have said the facts are indisputable. This government has performed. This government has delivered. This government is not comparable to other governments. The debate over performance is already won. And therefore, because they have no counter argument to this, they will resort to lies, even slander, trickery, gimmickry, and false promises. This is a solid book of achievement. And when I meet people, they are asking me for it's the first time that I'm campaigning. And people are saying, please, I want one of the book. It's not a brochure. It's not a two-leaf flyer. It's a substantial booklet. And people are asking for it. Overseas, people are calling. I said, look, go online. And say, no, Prime Minister. The book is not just an information piece. The book is a keepsake. I want to have this book to show it to my children. That shows you where this administration has done well. It has. Here you go, my dear. This is just asked about a copy of the book. We have, and we're going to make sure everybody have it because it is the evidence of the performance of the government. But as we transition into another phase of the campaign, as we transition into the manifesto phase of the campaign, where we start now to deal with not just what we have accomplished, but what we intend to do for you. And one of the things that I have seen as I move around the country is the cry for water. We have done polls and surveys. Unlike some people who leak fake poll and claim that them a lead and all kind of foolishness. You notice I never say anything because I have done polls and I am not only seeking to find out where the voter intent is, I also want to understand what is it that the voter wants. What are the issues affecting the voters? And it is very important to know this because as a government, you elect us to make priorities on your behalf. And what I have seen from polling and from my own interactions with you is that the issue of water is now top of mind. Before, and I hear somebody in the audience say road. Before, it was crime and unemployment. This administration has done what with crime? We cut it. We cut crime by 42%. Unemployment, we cut that all the way down now to 3.3%. So them the things that gone off on the list now. The electorate is now focused on road and water. I'll never forget talking to a lady, and I asked her, I said, which one you want? Road or water? Because she was complaining about both. I said, which one you want first? She said, give me the road because we can't carry the water. Now, I know that there is that logic, but water is critical. Critical for agriculture, it's critical for health, and it is critical for convenience. So we have a plan that is going to address both roads and water. You would have heard about the Spark program, which is a $45 billion allocation to repair roads, not just patch, but to rehabilitate roads all across Jamaica. That program is already underway. So you don't have to worry about that. $5 billion of that $40 billion is to put in pipes in the roads that we are fixing. So we are addressing water through that. But what I want to discuss with you tonight, to give you an insight into some of the things that is to come, is that for communities like here and New Greens and where we just come from in Mile Gully and other areas, that for decades you have no water. Now, there is the issue of the geography of the parish. Manchester don't have many water sources. But for this area, you do have some water sources. Your councillor tells me about Moravia, and your member of parliament today has been very resourceful, and she has made some connections with the bauxite company in the area to have certain wells become available, and I'm not going to say too much more. That's your achievement, and I want you to speak about it when it has been perfected. But this area has potential for water. What needs to happen is an allocation of resources to expand Moravia and to tap into some of the other wells, and to have the water distributed via the pipelines, which you don't now have, into your communities. These communities, like this one, is not unique with this problem. It is right across Jamaica. And so what this administration will do in our next term, just as how we announced the Spark program, and it's not just an announcement, we put the money behind it, we are going to announce a similar program of a massive investment in water to ensure that every community in Jamaica has potable water for its residents. By 2030, every community in Jamaica should have access to potable water. It is not an impossibility. What it requires is investment. If you look at the plans of the NWC, they already have plans as to how they could bring water to many communities. But you know what they don't have? They don't have the money to do it. They know what to do, but they don't have the money to do it. This administration is the only administration that has essentially solved the capital expenditure problem to bring the projects to life to solve your water problem. And what I am saying here is not a promise. Remember now, already the plan that was talked about many years ago about bringing water from St. Elizabeth up through Spur Tree and into Mandeville, talked that about for over 20 years. It is this administration that has made the capital allocation to have that massive project being done now. When you drive along Spur Tree Hill, you see the road being dug up and the massive pipelines being laid. This administration is doing it. So when I stand here and tell you that we are already planning on how we're going to bring water, not on and off, not low pressure, but a proper utility service to your communities, you know you can accept that not as a promise, but as a commitment, because this administration has demonstrated the capacity to take on massive problems and big projects and execute them well so that they can be delivered to you in a way that improves your quality of life. And so I want to tell you, the people who are gathered here, that a vote for the Jamaica Labour Party is a vote on a reliable, dependable, strategic government that knows how to implement. Which leads me now to your Member of Parliament to be, Ambassador Audrey Marks. Audrey has worked as ambassador for Jamaica for many years. She's probably the longest serving ambassador of Jamaica to the United States. She has graced the halls of power all over the world. Her connections and network is incomparable to any, and yet she remains very humble. I invited Audrey to join the government because I have a special mission for her. Remember what I said earlier, that this administration has solved what is called the capital investment problem. Jamaica is not short of big brain people. No, we have a whole heap of. What we're short of are people who can get things done. That is what we're short of. And your Member of Parliament, you know, I'm speaking it into being. Your Member of Parliament to be is resourceful and she knows how to get things done. But it's not only about getting things done. The other issue we face in Jamaica is the speed at which we get things done. Because we have a culture in Jamaica, especially in our bureaucracy, that says, if it didn't take long, it wasn't well done. In today's world, nothing goes so. The order of the world is to get things done quickly. It's called efficiency. And there's a great deal of frustration in the society about how long things take to get done. The reason why I've asked Audrey to join the government and why I've now said I want you in Parliament to be a part of the legislative arm in the lower house is that the government, our new government, will put in place a new unit within the Ministry of the Office of the Prime Minister called SPEED. It will eventually take up and roll into one all the units that deal with the transformation and efficiency and productivity of the government. But we have to start to look at the machinery of government to make that machinery work faster, work more efficient, use less resources, and deliver more results for the people of the country. So, to make the link between our commitment to deliver the water to you and to get it done quickly, Audrey has already figured out a part of the problem as to where she can get some water from that would be useful in the Wallaston division and possibly even useful here. The problem is how to get it done quickly, how to move it along quickly. And Audrey's job is going to be to work with all the stakeholders to reform the Jamaican bureaucracy. You hear that big word? It means the way in which we administer our affairs. All the steps that you have to go through, all the forms that you have to sign up, all the information that you have to provide. So yes, them say I am the man who cut it. And everything I do is all I do is walk and cut it. We cut the murder rate, we cut debt, we cut inflation, yes, we cut poverty, we cut taxes, and now, my friend, we're going to cut red tape in this country. So when I make a commitment to you about your water, I know you accept it, but you're still worried. Nah, it looks like it will take long. No, we can do it much faster and still do it better. And that is the government that we will create in our third term. So as I close my presentation to you, I am not asking you to give me a third term. That's not what it is about. Asking for a third term is like saying, time come. What I'm asking you to do is vote for a government that has performed convincingly. What I'm asking you to do is to vote on evidence, not on emotional logic and falsehood. Vote on the record of performance. And yes, you have to also consider what will the government do in the future. One thing I always say to people, the future is as a result of the decisions you make today. And if you're going to make decisions today, you should consider what has happened in the past. And if you consider the past actions of the Jamaica Labour Party in its last 2 terms, then you have literally no other choice. Because when you compare what we have done to what any other administration has done, we are street and lane above them. We are way above them. And so when you come to make a decision and you take into account the record and history and evidence of our performance, along with the credibility of the commitments that we have made, you have confidence that if you continue to place your trust and to give us the authority to continue administering your affairs, you can be assured that you will have a better quality of life for your household and for your country. And therefore I ask you, in the choice that you have to make, don't think about political party, your political traditions, what your family always vote, what your friend them say, all the rumors and lies that them spread on social media. Those have no bearing on the decision to elect a government. Look at the facts and the evidence of performance and credibility and use that to judge the promises and commitments that are being made. And once you do that, there's only one logical conclusion. If you go to choose Jamaica, you have to choose the Jamaica Labour. Love you. Choose Jamaica. Choose the Jamaica Labour Party. The party and the party that will continue to move Jamaica from that